3 million lucky New York City residents currently enjoy an all-you-can-eat, all-night buffet, totally free of charge. But the city's mayor has plans to mercilessly cut off the food supply to the city's millions of rats. And it starts with how human New Yorkers dispose of their garbage. Hi there, it's Jeff again for another plain English lesson. This one is number 638, so you can find the transcript and full lesson resources at plainenglish.com/638. JR is the producer. He has made sure everything is up and ready for you right there, plainenglish.com/638. I've got a great story for you today. New York City is trying to control its rat population, and its number one effort focuses on trash collection. If you've been to New York, you know it's a problem. Will America's biggest city finally solve its generations-old trash problem? The new mayor is trying. That's today's story. In the second half of today's lesson, I'll show you what it means to get rid of something. This is a very common expression. I can't believe we haven't done it in 637 previous episodes, but today is the day. Let's get going. The Empire State Building, the Brooklyn Bridge, the lights of Times Square, Central Park, and a big stinking pile of trash on the street. These are all famous sights in New York City. If you've been there, you know. New York is the country's financial and media capital, the beating heart of American capitalism. But any visitor, any commuter, and any New Yorker who walks on the street has to walk by enormous piles of black garbage bags left haphazardly on the sidewalk. This is how New York gets rid of its trash. Yes, in the year 2024, building managers put their tenants' trash in black bags. They tie the black bags up, and on trash day, they leave them in a pile right on the sidewalk where everyone has to walk by them. Waist high, sometimes shoulder high mounds of garbage. I don't have to tell you what that smells like on a hot summer day. The city's commissioner of sanitation calls this an all-you-can-eat, all-night buffet for rats. And it is an embarrassment for a city that prides itself on being a leader. But New York is finally getting serious about its trash problem. It's all part of the mayor's war on rats. The city has mandated that starting this year, small residential buildings and all businesses containerize their trash. That's a fancy way of saying they have to put their trash bags in a trash can with a lid. This might not sound revolutionary to you, but putting trash in a container is a big step for New York. The challenge is that New York City doesn't have alleys, so trash has to go out the front of the building. The same door that residents use to walk into the building, that's the door used to take the trash out. And the buildings are very close to the street, so there's no logical place to put a trash container. That's why New Yorkers' trash ends up sitting on the sidewalk in black bags waiting to be collected. The bags often rip, they ooze unidentified liquid, and they smell bad. Now, though, the city is ready to move to containerization. To start, all commercial businesses will have to use hard-lidded trash containers. And residential buildings of 9 or fewer units must do the same. The city estimates this will cover 70% of the city's trash. On dense residential blocks, the city plans to install containers on the street. From initial drawings, they'll look like giant laundry bins. In other places, building owners will have to purchase hard-lidded trash cans themselves. If you think it's unpleasant walking by a mound of leaky, smelly garbage bags, then spare a thought for the workers who have to collect all this trash. Now, they pick up all the bags with their hands and load them into garbage trucks. There must be a better way, and there is. Starting in 2026, building owners will be required to use specific bins from the city. These will be compatible with side-loading trash collection trucks. Here's how a side-loading truck works. A mechanical arm reaches out the side of the truck, grabs a trash can, lifts it up over the top of the truck, dumps the contents into the back, and returns the bin to its original position, all without intervention from a sanitation worker. This is faster and more sanitary, not to mention more pleasant for the workers. Household and business trash isn't the only problem, though. The trash cans for pedestrians on the street also attract rats. The city has 22,000 green baskets with a mesh design. That means the trash baskets are full of holes. That's right, they're perfect for rats to squeeze in and chow down. The city held a design competition for a new street-level trash bin. The winner is more resistant to rats and is easier for workers to empty. Eventually, the city will replace all the mesh litter baskets with the new version. The new trash effort will take many years. There is still no great solution for the tall residential buildings. But if this works, then New York could move from trash collection laggard to leader. Complaints about rats are already falling. I lived in New York City for 3 years in Midtown, West 55th Street, not far from Columbus Circle. I lived on a side street in a 5-story building. I was on the top floor with no elevator, but that's another story. Anyway, we would take our trash bags from the kitchen or whatever. We'd put them in a building trash can, and an employee of the building would pack our trash into the standard big black bags and just throw the bags out on the street the night before the trash collector would come by. And when you picture a side residential street in New York, I'm sorry to say, one of the images you think of is mounds and mounds of black trash bags. Future generations won't believe this was true. Visitors sometimes were in awe. They couldn't believe it. "This is normal?" they would ask. Yes, it's normal, but maybe not for long. Get rid of. This means to take something and remove it, eliminate it, get it out of your space, get it out of your possession. This is informal, but very common. If you move to a new house or apartment, you have some choices to make. You probably have hundreds of choices to make. As you pack, getting ready for the move, you inevitably have to ask yourself, keep it or get rid of it. I'm talking about household possessions. When you move, you have to pack everything. It takes time and money to pack and move your possessions. So this is a natural time to ask if you still want something in your life. This could be a piece of clothing. It could be a piece of furniture, souvenirs from old trips, household supplies, books, knickknacks, electronic devices you don't use anymore, chargers for electronic devices you don't use anymore. Keep it or get rid of it. You have to ask that question about everything you pack. Get rid of it doesn't necessarily mean put it in the trash, although it can mean that. It just means to eliminate from your possession. You can sell something. You can donate something. You can put it in the trash. You can recycle it. All these are ways to get rid of something. But the important thing is, after you get rid of it, it's not in your life anymore. Often we use get rid of with something that's not desirable, something we don't want, but which we have anyway. I can't wait to get rid of that ugly chair, you might say. And that means you are going to either sell or donate that chair or maybe give it away. It's ugly to you, but someone else might want it. Get it out of your life. Get rid of it. Or in your garage, you might have stuff that's broken, stuff you don't use anymore. Maybe you replaced your computer and the old computer is still in a drawer. It's time to get rid of it. Take it to a recycling center, sell it, whatever, but get it out of your life. How do big city residents get rid of their trash? It's different in different places. In Amsterdam, they have a series of underground tunnels and boats that take the trash away. In Singapore, many buildings have a pneumatic system that sucks trash bags into a central container. Paris, Chicago, Barcelona, and many other cities use trash bins. New York, at least for now, just leaves it on the street for sanitation workers to collect. That's how people get rid of their trash. That's how the trash leaves their possession and goes to wherever, a landfill, a sorting facility maybe. JR and I both watched the series You on Netflix. The characters were always struggling to get rid of a body. No spoilers, but the main characters killed people in that show. And they had to get rid of the evidence, get rid of the weapons they used, get rid of the clothes with blood stains on them, and get rid of the body. Dispose of all these things. Get them out of their possession so they were no longer in their houses, their cars, and nowhere in their lives. They tried to get rid of those things. Here are a few more quick examples. You might get rid of old magazines that you'll never read again. If you have a yard, you might want to get rid of the weeds. If your medicine cabinet is full of old prescription bottles with a few pills left in each of them, you probably want to get rid of those bottles of expired medication. And that is all for us here at Plain English. Now, you may have noticed that we have retired the quote of the week and the song of the week. And I want to personally thank JR for picking many hundreds of songs for us to listen to together. But everything has its time, and I want to make these episodes a little shorter, a little more focused. We have a lot of great improvements coming in Plain English this year, so we just wanted to make room for some new features. We might bring the Song of the Week back in some form, but for now, we're putting our energies into new projects. This was lesson 638, so remember the lesson homepage can be found at plainenglish.com/638. So check that out for the full transcripts and the rest of the lesson resources, plainenglish.com/638. We'll be back here on Thursday with a new episode. See you then.